The year 1066 dawned with an ominous quiet, a deceptive calm before the storm that would forever alter the course of English history. King Edward the Confessor, a devout and childless monarch, lay on his deathbed, his passing igniting a fierce struggle for the throne. Three powerful claimants emerged, each believing they held the rightful claim to England's crown. Harold Godwinson, the Earl of Wessex, was a formidable English nobleman, widely considered the most influential man in the kingdom. He had served Edward faithfully and was supported by the White Negmot, the assembly of leading men. Across the English Channel, William, Duke of Normandy, a ruthless and ambitious leader, asserted his claim based on a supposed promise from Edward. He also claimed Harold had sworn an oath to support his succession, an oath Harold vehemently denied. To the north, Harald Hardrada, the King of Norway, a legendary Viking warrior, believed he had a legitimate claim through an earlier agreement. His ambition was fueled by the desire to restore the Viking Empire in England. Upon Edward's death in January 1066, Harold Godwinson was swiftly crowned King of England. His immediate challenge was to prepare for the inevitable invasions from both north and south. Harold assembled his forces, primarily composed of the Fyrd, a militia of ordinary Englishmen, and his elite housecarls. He positioned his army in the south, anticipating William's cross-channel invasion. However, the first blow came from the north. Harald Hardrada, allied with Harold's estranged brother Tostig Godwinson, landed in Yorkshire. They quickly defeated the English Earls Edwin and Morcar at the Battle of Fulford Gate. Harold, receiving news of the northern invasion, made a forced march with his army, covering nearly 200 miles in just 4 days. This incredible feat of speed and endurance caught Hardrada and Tostig by surprise. On September 25th, 1066, Harold's forces met the Vikings at the Battle of Stamford Bridge. The battle was a decisive English victory. Both Harold Hardrada and Tostig Godwinson were killed, effectively ending the Viking threat to England. However, Harold's triumph was short-lived. Just days after Stamford Bridge, William of Normandy finally launched his invasion. His fleet, delayed by unfavorable winds, landed at Pevensey Bay on September 28. William quickly established a fortified camp at Hastings, preparing for battle. Harold, exhausted from his northern campaign, was forced to march his weary army south once more. Many of his Fyrd had dispersed after Stamford Bridge, believing the war was over. He arrived near Hastings on October 13th, taking up a strong defensive position on Senlac Hill. Harold's strategy was to form a shield wall, a formidable defensive formation that had proven effective against Viking attacks. The English forces, though tired, were determined to defend their homeland. William's army, a diverse force of Norman, Breton, and Flemish knights, archers, and infantry, was well rested and eager for battle. The morning of October 14th, 1066, dawned cold and clear. The two armies faced each other across the valley, the tension palpable. William's forces began their assault, with archers firing volleys of arrows. The English shield wall held firm, deflecting the arrows and repelling the Norman cavalry charges. The battle raged for hours, a brutal and relentless struggle. The Normans repeatedly attacked, but the English defense remained unbroken. William employed a feigned retreat tactic, where some of his cavalry would pretend to flee, drawing out parts of the English shield wall. This tactic, though risky, eventually began to break the cohesion of the English lines. As the day wore on, the English forces, particularly the Fyrd, grew weary and disorganized. Harold himself fought bravely, leading his housecarls from the front. The turning point came late in the afternoon, Harold was struck down, possibly by an arrow to the eye, though accounts vary. His death shattered the morale of the English army. Without their king, the remaining English forces began to flee. The Battle of Hastings was a decisive Norman victory. William, now known as William the Conqueror, had claimed the English throne. The immediate aftermath was brutal, with widespread destruction and subjugation. William's coronation on Christmas Day 1066 marked the official beginning of Norman rule. The Norman conquest had profound and lasting consequences for England. It brought about a complete transformation of the English aristocracy. English landowners were dispossessed, and their lands were granted to Norman lords. This created a new ruling class, loyal to William and speaking French. The English language itself underwent a dramatic change. Old English, the language of the Anglo-Saxons, was heavily influenced by Norman French. This fusion eventually led to the development of Middle English, a precursor to modern English. The legal system was also profoundly affected. Norman law and administrative practices were introduced, laying the foundations for the English common law. Feudalism, a hierarchical system of land tenure and loyalty, was firmly established. This system shaped social and political relations for centuries. The Domesday Book, commissioned by William in 1085, was a comprehensive survey of England's land and resources. It provided a detailed record of land ownership and value, solidifying Norman control. The Norman conquest also brought England into closer contact with continental Europe. It fostered stronger ties with France and the wider European political landscape. The architecture of England was transformed, with the construction of grand Norman castles and cathedrals. These structures served as symbols of Norman power and control. The church also underwent significant reforms, with Norman clerics replacing many English bishops and abbots. This brought the English church more in line with continental practices. The Battle of Hastings was not merely a single battle. It was the culmination of a complex struggle for power. It was a clash of cultures, ambitions, and destinies. The bravery of the English, though ultimately unsuccessful, is remembered. The strategic brilliance and ruthlessness of William secured his victory. The legacy of the Norman conquest is still evident in England today. From the language we speak to the legal system we uphold, its influence is undeniable. The events of 1066 reshaped England's identity, forging a new nation from diverse elements. The Battle of Hastings stands as a pivotal moment, a turning point in the annals of history. It was a day that changed England forever. The echoes of that fateful day still resonate through the centuries. The English people, though defeated, retained their spirit. Their culture, though altered, continued to evolve. The Norman conquerors, in turn, became part of the fabric of England. Their descendants would eventually identify as English. The fusion of Anglo-Saxon and Norman cultures created a unique and powerful synthesis. This synthesis laid the groundwork for future English greatness. The Battle of Hastings was a crucible, forging a new nation. It was a testament to the enduring power of human ambition and resilience. The strategic decisions made on that day continue to be studied. The bravery of the combatants is still honored. The consequences of the battle reverberated across Europe. England's destiny became inextricably linked with that of the continent. The Norman conquest was a defining moment, a true watershed in history. It set England on a path that would lead to its emergence as a global power. The story of 1066 is a timeless tale of conflict and transformation. It reminds us of how quickly the tides of fate can turn. The field of Hastings, now a quiet landscape, once echoed with the sounds of battle. The ghosts of warriors, both English and Norman, still linger there. Their sacrifice shaped the world we know. The legacy of William the Conqueror is complex. He was a ruthless conqueror, but also a skilled administrator. His reign brought stability and order to a fractured land. The Norman yoke, though heavy, ultimately led to a stronger England. The seeds of future parliamentary democracy were sown. The Battle of Hastings remains a subject of fascination and debate. Historians continue to unravel its intricacies. The human drama of the events is compelling. The sheer scale of the undertaking by William is remarkable. The resilience of Harold's defense is equally impressive. The battle was a testament to the power of military innovation. The feigned retreat, though controversial, proved effective. The role of chance and circumstance cannot be overlooked. Harold's forced march north weakened his army. The timing of William's invasion was fortuitous. The Battle of Hastings was a clash of two distinct military traditions. The English shield wall against Norman cavalry and archers. The outcome was a testament to the adaptability of warfare. The impact on the English peasantry was immense. Their lives were irrevocably altered by the conquest. New customs and traditions were introduced. The Norman conquest was a period of great upheaval. But from this chaos, a new order emerged. The foundations of a powerful kingdom were laid. The Battle of Hastings is a story of human courage and ambition. It is a reminder of the fragility of power and the enduring impact of a single day. The strategic importance of Senlac Hill was clear. Harold chose his ground wisely. The shield wall was a formidable defense, but it had its limitations. The prolonged nature of the battle favored the Normans. Their cavalry could disengage and regroup. The English, once committed, were largely static. The loss of Harold was a devastating blow. His leadership was crucial to the English effort. The Battle of Hastings was a testament to William's resolve. He faced numerous challenges and overcame them. His invasion was a massive logistical undertaking. The construction of his fleet was a monumental task. The gathering of his army from across Normandy was impressive. The crossing of the Channel was fraught with peril. Yet William persevered. His victory at Hastings secured his place in history. The Bayeux Tapestry provides a vivid, though biased, account of the events. It is a remarkable historical document. The details of the battle are still debated by scholars. The exact moment of Harold's death remains a mystery, but its impact is undeniable. The Battle of Hastings was a turning point for England. It marked the end of Anglo-Saxon rule and the beginning of a new chapter. The consequences were far-reaching, affecting every aspect of English society. The language, the law, the aristocracy, all were reshaped by the Norman conquest. The legacy of 1066 is a testament to the power of historical events. How a single day can alter the course of centuries. The story of Hastings is a powerful narrative, one that continues to captivate and inform. The bravery of the English defenders is not forgotten. Their sacrifice paved the way for a New England. The strategic genius of William is undeniable. He seized his opportunity with precision. The Battle of Hastings was a brutal affair. Lives were lost on both sides. The cost of victory was high, but the prize was the crown of England. The impact on the English language is particularly striking. Thousands of French words entered the lexicon, enriching and transforming it. The legal system, too, saw fundamental changes. Norman legal concepts were introduced, laying the groundwork for centuries of legal development. The Battle of Hastings was a catalyst for change, a single event with monumental repercussions. It shaped the very identity of England and its place in the world. The story of 1066 is a powerful reminder of the forces that shape nations and the enduring legacy of human actions. The field of Hastings, now peaceful, holds a profound history. It whispers tales of courage and conquest, of a day that changed everything. The strategic decisions made by both Harold and William were critical. Harold's rapid march north was a gamble. It paid off at Stamford Bridge, but left him vulnerable to William. William's patience in waiting for favorable winds was rewarded. His timing was impeccable. The Battle of Hastings was a clash of destinies, a moment when the future of a nation hung in the balance. The courage of the English was immense. They fought for their homeland and their way of life. The Norman victory was complete. England would never be the same. The consequences of the battle continue to unfold, even after centuries. The Battle of Hastings is a cornerstone of English history, a story of power, ambition, and fate. It is a narrative that resonates deeply, reminding us of the transformative power of conflict and the enduring spirit of a nation. The events of 1066 are etched into the collective memory, a testament to a pivotal moment that shaped the world. The Battle of Hastings, a name synonymous with destiny, a fight that changed England forever. The strategic importance of the English Channel was highlighted. It was both a defense and an invasion route. William's mastery of naval logistics was crucial. His ability to transport such a large force was remarkable. The English lacked a strong navy at the time. This proved to be a significant disadvantage. The Battle of Hastings was a land battle, but its prelude was naval. The wind played a decisive role, delaying William, then aiding him. The element of surprise was lost for William initially, but Harold's northern campaign created a new opportunity. The exhaustion of the English army was a critical factor. They fought two major battles in quick succession and marched hundreds of miles. Their resilience was extraordinary, but ultimately, not enough. The Battle of Hastings was a clash of leadership styles. Harold, the warrior king, leading from the front. William, the strategic commander, directing his forces. Both were formidable in their own right. The outcome was a testament to William's adaptability, his willingness to employ new tactics. The feigned retreat was a risky but effective gamble. It exploited the English discipline and their desire to pursue. The Battle of Hastings was a brutal, close-quarters fight. The shield wall was a formidable obstacle, but it could not withstand endless assaults. The death of Harold was the final blow. The English resistance crumbled. The Norman conquest was complete. A new era dawned for England. The consequences were profound and lasting, shaping the nation for centuries to come. The Battle of Hastings remains a pivotal moment, a testament to the power of human will and the unpredictable nature of history. The story of 1066 is a timeless epic, one that continues to resonate and remind us of the past's enduring influence. The field of Hastings, a silent witness to a day that changed England forever. The strategic importance of the high ground was evident. Harold's choice of Senlac Hill was sound. It forced the Normans to attack uphill, a significant tactical advantage. However, the feigned retreats negated this advantage, drawing the English down from their strong position. The discipline of the English shield wall was remarkable. They held firm for hours against repeated Norman charges. The sheer endurance of both armies was extraordinary. The battle was a test of wills, and ultimately, William's will prevailed. The death of Harold was the decisive moment. Without their king, the English lost cohesion, and the battle was lost. The Norman conquest was a brutal but transformative event. It reshaped England's destiny and its place in European history. The legacy of 1066 is still felt today. In the language, the law, the very fabric of society. The Battle of Hastings, a name etched in time. A fight that changed England forever. The story of 1066 is a powerful reminder of the forces that shape nations and the enduring impact of human actions. The field of Hastings, now peaceful, holds a profound history. It whispers tales of courage and conquest, of a day that changed everything. The strategic decisions made by both Harold and William were critical. Harold's rapid march north was a gamble. It paid off at Stamford Bridge, but left him vulnerable to William. William's patience in waiting for favorable winds was rewarded. His timing was impeccable. The Battle of Hastings was a clash of destinies, a moment when the future of a nation hung in the balance. The courage of the English was immense. They fought for their homeland and their way of life. The Norman victory was complete. England would never be the same. The consequences of the battle continue to unfold, even after centuries. The Battle of Hastings is a cornerstone of English history, a story of power, ambition, and fate. It is a narrative that resonates deeply, reminding us of the transformative power of conflict and the enduring spirit of a nation. The events of 1066 are etched into the collective memory, a testament to a pivotal moment that shaped the world. The Battle of Hastings, a name synonymous with destiny, a fight that changed England forever.